Don't.
Hey, this is Stephanie Shea, and you're listening to Gundamn at MAHQ.
Don't talk down to me like I'm a kid. I totally dig being on my own. Plus, I can eat all.
On the pill you're eating every day. God, you're pathetic, you know that?
Please don't talk to me like you're my mom. You're not the maternal.
That's enough. Look, you better explain this. I don't give a damn about your personal life. Start talking.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Gundamn at MAHQ. This is one of your hosts, Neo, and joining me always is the Soul Bro and Chris. Guys.
Hey, Soul Bro, is that the band going off there?
Okay, cool. Hold
Are you,
hopefully they can hear me now.
are you on I mean, that's kind of appropriate because this is episode 325, and we're going to be doing some... we're going to be going into the Alien franchise. We'll be talking about Alien Earth, the series on Hulu, and the recent movie Alien Romulus. And you kind of sound like you're in one of those ships, one of those Weyland-Yutani ships. Deep space.
Yeah, I'll be toggling the mute button tonight. That's for sure.
Are you currently in contact with Mother?
Are you? I mean, like, what's going on? You just got out of cryostasis, and you're.
Oh man! Beforehand, you guys couldn't hear it, and now you can. It's getting worse. It's the best. Guys, just to prepare you, my computer's on the brink of collapse. If something happens, we have to continue this episode on a later date. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna keep the ship running tight and keep it running light. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
Okay.
Hopefully, the Xenomorphs don't fall prey to the man in the can curse.
Exactly.
Well,
I hope there's a
that
backup somewhere. Yeah. So, did you do, you know what? I guess I'll just do this. I saw the thing on.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not gonna have you set it. God knows what
I'm
will
not
happen.
doing shit.
Probably be some.
I'm running this. I'm doing as little as possible.
Probably be some. Yeah, there we go. Now I can see the chat. There we go. Cool. But cool. So yeah, this is episode 325. We'll be talking about Alien Earth, which is a recent series of the Alien franchise. Was it just a Hulu streaming, or was it on one of those networks? Was it a Fox show?
It's on FX.
Always noticed. Oh, FX. Okay. Yeah. No TV anymore, except for sports. I think I watch it for. So I don't always know what's going on there. Okay. And then Alien Romulus was what? That was what in 2020?
Last year.
2024. Yeah.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll be talking about those. We are going to skip because of some of the things with our technical issues. So I'm going to not go over news again. Sorry about that, guys, but not too much there. And I'll definitely go back to it in the first show of 2026 because, yeah, we're getting to the point where we'll be, that's going to be the kind of situation there. Guys, anything before we go over, and I don't know which one you want to do first, Chris. You want to do the movie or the series?
Let's do Romulus since it's shorter and it came out first.
Okay, sounds good. You want to give us a quick little synopsis of it?
Sure. So, Alien Romulus was released last year. It was directed by Fede Alvarez, and it's an interquel that is set between the original Alien and Aliens, and it's about a group of people on this really rundown Island Yutani colony called Jackson Star, who so it's a perpetually dark planet, and this girl Rain wants to get out of there with her surrogate brother, a synth named Andy, who is a defective android who was reprogrammed by her father to protect her, and her parents are gone, so she's orphaned young lass, and some friends say, hey, we're gonna take a shuttle up to this derelict ship that's in orbit, and we can get out of here. And when they get up into space, what they realize is that it's not a derelict Weyland Yutani ship. It is a whole ass space station that is divided up into two halves, one side called Romulus and the other Remus, after the mythical founders of Rome. And unfortunately, they be doing xenomorph experiments on there because they managed to recover the original xenomorph that Ripley shot out into space at the end of the first Alien movie, and it wasn't quite dead, and they were tinkering with it, and with some of the engineer goo that we've seen in previous Alien movies and Prometheus. And of course, everything went to hell on this space station. And now these people are stuck on there, and they're trying to deal with that while also dealing with a very untrustworthy, half-eaten android that is a creepy digital homunculus of Ian Holm. And their numbers are slowly dwindled. They end up upgrading the AI of Andy, which unfortunately does a reverse Robocop on him and gives him a new directive because he is supposed to do what's best for Rain. Now he's doing what's best for Weyland Yutani, so he's kind of fucking with them. They eventually downgrade him back to the way he was. And, after the usual alien depths of all of these secondary characters, it finally comes down to um, Rain and Andy as the only survivors, just barely getting out of the space station before it goes into the asteroid belt that is hitting the planet, and it blows up.
Man, it's never good, man. Never good. All right. So, Sobro, what do you think? As you are actually reporting from, you're reporting from Remus, aren't you?
The other side, huh?
Yeah, the other side, yeah.
As we get torn apart in the Dust Belt. Yes. That's the sound you hear, by the way. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed this movie. I saw it for the first week, actually. I hadn't got around to watching it yet because usually I like to watch these types of movies with my wife, and my wife had no interest in seeing this. Although she sat through all of the Alien TV series with me, so I don't understand it. But anyway, I thought this movie was a lot of fun. There was a strong emphasis on clocks in this movie, which I appreciated. Clocks winding down to action or detrimental circumstances. The number one being that the Romulus Remus space station was like slowly descending into the dust belt, and of course that gets sped up once they crash their ship into the fuel depot, and it causes an explosion to happen, knocking it further. So there was that. There was also the situation that was in the I forget, the bio room or whatever, the room filled with water. Once the face palmer started getting into the water, it was on and popping. But I like the cast. The cast was young. The Alvarez usually works with very young actors. And he directed some movies beforehand where certain young characters were in a very precarious situation that they put in. This movie's no different from that, although they had a legitimate reason to do what they did in this movie, which is to escape corporate slavery, which is an ongoing theme between these two entities we're reviewing tonight. I liked Rain as a main character. Andy was my favorite throughout the movie. It was weird seeing Ian Holm get resurrected digitally for this film.
So so they did a digital thing of the guy from the first movie.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, he was Ash, the synth.
That's what I thought. And when he said he was Rook, I'm like, isn't that Ash from the? Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
All right,
same model.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, also AKA Bilbo Baggins from the Lord of the Rings trilogy as well. But just as funny that they resurrected his visage for that. It looked better than say Tarkin did in Rogue One. You know, maybe they got some competent.
Oh yeah.
They got some competent guys to do it this time around, but it still was off-putting. I think these people should just dead this, unless the actor's still alive and they can do age. They can de-age the person. I say just to leave it alone, man. Just let someone else come in and
No,
play the character.
here's the thing.
What's up?
Just do it the old way. Just put somebody new and don't even.
That's what I'm saying.
This is
that's what I'm
right.
saying.
Just
If
just do it.
if
I
the
mean,
actor's
I
not
don't
alive,
understand this.
Get another actor. That's just all you do. But other than that, it was neat to see him, although a little off-putting given the circumstances. I thought the cast had a lot of chemistry. I like how everybody was wound down. How they figured out how to get not the symbiote, but the face palmer off of the pilot's face. Face hugger. I forget what it is.
Face palmer.
What is this, Captain Picard?
Yeah, exactly.
Alien Picard.
That's just a emoji. This is the emoji version of Alien, the face palmer.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it was slick. The set pieces were really cool. I love the set pieces in this movie, especially since I have a deep fear of claustrophobia, and they had to crawl through that long service entrance to get inside.
Man.
You're not good with that. That shit fucked me up. But
like the Jeffries tube, man.
yeah,
Come on, man.
I've never been cool about
Scotty
Jeffries
did that
either.
all the time.
Yeah, but I just thought this movie had an energy to it that didn't stop from the beginning. I did put you in a almost unwinnable situation with Rain finding out that they just doubled her load. It reminded me of Andor actually, with the way Weyland Yutani doled out people's ability to actually get out of their contract.
Actually, I thought it was just American 2025 for anybody that had like a per hour job. I didn't really think it was. I didn't think of Andor. I just thought of like companies like Tesla and some of these other ones, Amazon and all those. You know, like okay,
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it just reminded me. Just a little bit.
After 90 days, I get benefits. No, you don't. You have to do 90 more before we can pay for those.
And be careful.
No bathroom for you.
Be careful the arrangement don't change again. But I said it all wrong. But yeah, man. I like the vibe this movie had, and Fede Alvarez is a hell of a director, man. The guy, he knows how to really capture mood and tension,
depression, and
yeah.
fucked up. And, like it's Rain and the Junkyard Kids, like it's like Judo and the Junkyard Kids that made the wrong turn. Like, Judo and them made the right turn because they were like, it was all happy and they had goofiness with Gemmon. But this one is like, oh no, this is Xenomorph time. Not a good thing.
They ended up in the really bad junkyard in Von Braun.
Pretty much, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you came to the wrong junkyard, motherfucker.
Wrong junkyard. Turn back.
You made a right where you should have made a left. But yeah, just the set pieces were inventive. I love the fact that they deactivated the gravity to shoot those aliens like a fish in a barrel. I thought that was so dope.
That was cool. Yeah, that was actually.
And then the elevator sequence, and then getting on the ship. I think it may have had one too many last bosses, but there was something about the alien hybrid, human hybrid situation that reminded me of Metroid a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, because I know that Samus as a character eventually gets inundated with Metroid DNA.
It's kind of like an alien engineer hybrid.
Yeah. And you're right. It did look like an engineer. But it's almost like the pot calling the kettle black, or it just like reversing that situation, since it was the engineers that kind of links us to the Xenomorphs in the first place. But yeah, ultimately, man, this is a fun watch, man. There's something about body horror that I I don't like body horror and period, but I've always let it slide for Alien because I've always enjoyed the first two movies, and you know,
I don't know. Girl having alien hybrid baby,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was still pretty disturbing. I'm like,
pretty,
oh, I knew it was coming, and I'm like, oh no, and I was just like,
yeah,
why do we have to continue doing this?
pretty damn tough.
Yeah,
But yeah, ultimately, man,
yeah.
it was a good watch. And I'm hoping to see a follow up to this. I don't know how well it did at the box office, but I hope it did really well enough to bring us a
What would be
follow
the
up
follow up?
eventually. And hopefully it
What's the
doesn't.
follow up?
They did Aliens. So and that was this
No, I
movie ends
know,
almost
but
like Alien. So it's a setup for something hopefully more continued adventures down the road. But I'm gonna toss it back to you guys and have at it.
so Chris, what do you want to say about this?
I did not watch it until we were getting ready for this episode because I've been kind of down on you know, Disney kind of overmining a lot of these franchises, and it's like, do we need to have so many more Alien movies and stories and things set before this and set in between that and yada yada. And when I sat down and watched this movie, I actually enjoyed it. It actually did pretty well in the role of being a midquel between Alien and Aliens. Um, there are some things I did not like. I'm not a fan of this like digital homunculus of Ian
Yeah,
Holm. They did not need to do that. You know, it could have just been literally any android. It did not have to be like a twin to Ash. There was just no need to do that. It looked creepy. It looked weird. Um, you know, it's kind of in a
that's for
meta
the fans,
way.
though. Yeah,
Yeah, but like, why?
it, but that's the problem sometimes with these things is like, I think. Well, you finish up. I'll say my thing, but that's like the one thing I'm like, now that I really kind of understand it, it kind of turns me off even more on it because I'm kind of with you. It's like, why do we have to do that? Like,
In a very meta way, Disney is very much like Wayland Yutani exploiting people beyond their deaths and
yeah,
won't let them just
exactly,
die and not work. So
exactly.
I
Yeah,
don't
the
think
guy that
that's
was
the
Tarkin, you're
message
still working.
that Disney intended, but it's certainly the one that I got from this of like, wow, these
Yeah,
fucking companies just going to keep
yeah.
exploiting until there's nothing left, even after you're dead. They're going to keep
Mhm.
exploiting.
What they do?
So not really.
Give some residuals to his estate to get them to sign off on it or something.
Probably. And you
So
know what? I always hear
yeah.
like, oh, but the estate of like that doesn't it doesn't matter. Let people die. We let actors die for decades
Mhm.
before this shit started happening and it was fine.
Exactly.
Let
Right.
them be dead.
Yeah.
Move on. Get other actors. That's the whole fucking point. Like
It's okay.
we as like a society are like pausing in place and just we're kind of staying in like an ever a non-changing present, kind of like the sliding scale timeline of Marvel and DC comics, where everything
Yeah.
is just kind of always now. There's not a past and there's not a future anymore.
Right. They still look the same. Steve Rogers still looks the same. Wolverine still looks the
Just
same. You
get
know.
other actors. We did not need to do this.
Right.
That aside, that's my biggest quibble with the movie. Some of the secondary characters kind of thin as they usually are in these kinds of movies. There's only so much character work you can do in a just under 2 hour movie where you have to start killing people off. Um, what I really thought was the core of the movie and what worked best was the relationship between Rain and Andy. And that sort of like childlike innocence that he had as this defective android who everyone shits on.
Yeah.
And, it's sad to see the transformation of him into this like ruthless motherfucker when he puts in the chip from Rook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
then, you know, late in Act 3, they undo that, and he goes back to being how he was, and it's like, okay, that that's a relief, and it ended on a decent note for the two of them, where there's a more hopeful future than how things were looking. One thing I really appreciate about this movie is we all know from all of these Alien and Predator stories that Weyland Yutani is like the most evil fucking company ever. And we see that they do not put any.
Are they worse than Umbrella now? I mean,
Yes, probably, no doubt.
and Cyberdyne? They're
No.
worse than Cyberdyne and Umbrella?
And
I mean, because
Well, think about it. All those companies that you name, all their fuckery happens just on Earth. Weyland Yutani
that's
fucks
true.
with the entire galaxy.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. They spread
Even,
shit. Yeah.
even to the extent of if you watch Predator Badlands, like they don't learn their lessons. They just always want to fuck with everybody in the name of getting their hands on fucked up aliens.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've seen throughout all of these alien movies from the start that the company has no regard for human life. But that's usually been focused on trying to get their hands on xenomorphs. This movie, and I think this is where Solbro's and/or comparison is apt, shows us the way that they degrade all of their normal workers on a day-to-day basis and treat them like shit. They put them on these like colony worlds that are horrible, and it's interesting that the theme of this movie is that the xenomorph experiments are not this time for the sake of creating a bioweapon, but for engineering better humans who can withstand all of these harsh environments that our bodies cannot take, because people are dying on this colony world left and right because it's just such a terrible environment that the human body was not designed for.
Exactly.
Right. Because you got to keep the mining going. You got to keep the machine
Got to
going.
keep the machine going. You got to have new parts to go in there, and if the parts keep breaking, then how can we make the parts better? Maybe we should just not be in this business at all, because
And it is a social commentary of like, this is when you sit there and you have a society built on corporate profits and built on allowing corporations to do whatever they need to do for them to maximize shareholder value. I mean, in the end, they're willing to, I mean, newsflash to people, a corporation is willing to have, there's an acceptable amount of death and dismemberment that they're willing to do, as long as it raises the share prices and keeps costs down. and this is exactly what I actually feel like in some ways that was probably maybe 10 or 15 minutes of the beginning of the movie. That whole thing, it really kind of, to me, it fleshed out the world of Weyland Yutani even more. Like, it's easy to see the evil corporation trying to get the things for the bioweapons and all this other crap. But the fact of, like you said, Chris, the way they just, I mean, this is what Amazon is right now. I mean, Amazon, they have people, pissing in bottles, and their drivers. I mean, I almost got hit by one of their drivers the other day because they're always trying.
Holy shit!
I mean, Amazon is Weyland Yutani of our world, and I say that now because I've completely sold all my Amazon stock. But it's just like it's the same thing. They don't care, and I thought that was the biggest thing. And yeah, that was a twist I wasn't expecting either of that. They wanted the xenomorph technology to make them to bioengineer people. It's like not even to make them better, just to make them better workers and so they don't have to replace them as much. Like that's ultimate evil. Like that's such ultimate evil. And I felt so bad for the girl. I felt so bad for Ray, where she's like, "I'm done. I can get out of here." They're like, "No, we changed the contract." Yeah,
now you're gonna be working in the mine for 6 years.
You didn't read the fine print of your contract. And it's like, oh my god, like it's like the EULA. I mean, that's like the EULA. It's like you didn't read that part. Oh yeah, we can do this. But yeah, go ahead, Chris. It's crazy. So yeah, they are the most evil corporation then. Okay. Yeah, I have to say. of the fictional corporations.
Yes. That's it. That's it for me right now. Overall, great movie.
My thoughts, yes, I am another one. I did not see this until the assignment was given to me by our Lord Master Chris, but I enjoyed it. As I understood when I started watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is a bridge movie. And I think for one of those bridge movies between two well-known movies that had happened before it, I think it works really well. I think it, you're right. The relationship with Rain and Andy is probably the best part. Yeah, you don't get to know a lot of these people as soon as it's the typical thing as we start to get more screen time on a character. Oh, they're gonna die. I mean, it keeps it did give you some more especially with the fate the chest burster stuff. I mean, the one with Navarro was one that was pretty damn shocking, where it's like you're seeing inside of it breaking out. I was like, oh my God, that's a twist. I don't remember seeing that before. But yeah, I think it was a great movie to take the kind of bridge, and it's like, okay, what happened to the original Xenomorph in the first movie? Oh, it survived, makes sense, and they were able to do this in a way where it doesn't do anything for the second movie. It doesn't. It's just kind of, I guess Wayland Yutani probably just classified this as, a workplace accident. And just kind of moved on. I think, yeah, the alien hybrid at the end was a little weird. It does kind of suffer from, is this the final boss? No, this is the final boss kind of syndrome. But it was, I thought what made it really work well is it didn't really have a point where I didn't feel like it was dragging. It clocks in under 2 hours, that's a plus for me. Not that I don't mind things that run longer than that, but very rarely do we see movies that go 2+ hours that are just solid all the way through. I mean, so yeah, I mean, as a person that's not the biggest Aliens fan, I think this is a movie that's great for Aliens fans. I think they fanned out on it. I do second with you on that, Chris, though. The fan service with Rook and stuff. It's like just let it go. It's kind of unneeded, and I think, I don't know why they had to do that. I thought it would have just been, because there's so many of these synths walking around. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever. But I think this is also a movie where you don't need a hell of a lot of background on the first two movies to really just kind of enjoy it. I think that's kind of the genius of this movie in some ways, is that if you're a huge Aliens fan, you're going to love this. And I think if you're not, you're still going to just see this as just, oh, this is just an entertaining story. It's gross, it's shocking, but it doesn't get bogged down, and it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it has to reference the two other movies or the franchise as much as it is. In some ways it seemed kind of self-contained to me, but that might be me. So
Oh, it is. Aside from the
yeah,
home creepiness, it is pretty self-contained and not using other movies too much
yeah.
as a crutch.
It's kind of like Rogue One in some ways, in a weird way. I mean, I know like Rogue One is like kind of a prequel to a story, but it's also kind of a bridge story too. I mean, if you think of Revenge of the Sith, I know there are things. It's not as much of a bridge as this one is, but things like this, we've always seen them not always been done well. These prequels or these side stories and kind of bridge movies or episodes or whatever, or bridge series, they're not. I would say the success rate's probably 50%, right? I mean, for every one in Alien Romulus, there's what, a lot of other not good ones. So, it's just it worked pretty well. But bro, anything you didn't like in this movie?
I mean, I don't have too many complaints. I will say the callback to "Get away from her, you bitch" was a bit much. They could have said something else catchy instead.
Yeah,
that to me was
that
like,
annoyed me, like unnecessary callback. Also earlier, you probably clocked this. When Rain meets up with her friends, one of them's playing a video game and like
yeah,
dies, and you hear him say, "Game over, man."
that's right.
No.
I laughed at that, but yeah, it's still as how are you referencing this when it's not even possible you could even reference this? It's too funny. But I gotta say that yeah, those two things is a little too cheeky, I would say. But outside of that, I didn't really have too many complaints. Maybe one last boss too many, but that usually is the flavor for Alien. There's always like one last secret threat you have to take care of. And the aforementioned stuff about resurrected Ian Holm. Other than that, man, I had a good time watching this.
Chris, any downsides that you had?
Yeah, beyond what I mentioned, it's some of these cheesy lines and bringing back Ian Holm. I did want to mention on a positive that I forgot to mention earlier. I really enjoyed, just to echo what Sobro said, some of the set pieces. I really liked how we had Rain using the aimbot to shoot all these aliens in 0G, but then followed by precariously having to like float in 0G through that same corridor and avoid touching their acid blood, and then trying to get to the other side of the corridor before the gravity cycles back on. That was really cool.
That's definitely a video game level.
Yeah, the scene early on when they're trying to sneak through the full of face huggers, or I should say face palmers. They're trying to sneak through the face palmers, and they raise. I thought that was clever that they raised the temperature of the room to match their body temperature, and they're like trying to like creep through, and then it's like, oh, incoming radio call to ruin everything.
Yeah, always happens. Damn
Yeah.
radio calls.
So that was fun too. The elevator sequence at the end.
Yeah, I like that one.
They do a good job of using the location of this space station as a hazard. It definitely gave me some vibes of, like you said, video games. So like Metroid Prime.
Had Dead Space on too.
Good call.
It definitely felt like the original Dead Space. I mean, in some ways.
Dead Space is pulling from Alien anyway. So
I know. But like the whole elevator sequence kind of reminded me of Dead Space. I'm like, oh, this is that. But yeah, they're I guess they're one and the same when it comes to those situations. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you too. I think probably to me the biggest issue was it was going pretty well, and then it was just like one pause too many. But that is kind of fair for these type of movies, not just the Aliens, but any of these type of like horror, any type of horror movie. Because I mean, in the end, Aliens always been more of a horror movie to me. I know it's science fiction, but it's probably technically science fiction horror, but it's always been a horror movie to me because it's just the unkillable monster that's just taking everybody down. So okay. Anything else before we go on with our ratings on this?
No, I'll just add. It's nice said in this. She's had quite the career lately between this Superman and Peacemaker and The Last of Us. She's been in a lot of shows lately. So she was the one. I forget her name, but she was the one girl that was pregnant throughout this movie. But yeah, other than that, I'm good. I'm good to move on to Alien Earth.
Well, do you want to rate this?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I'll give this 4 face palmers out of 5.
Chris, what do you want to do?
I'm going to give this 3.5 sad androids out of 5.
Yeah, and I'm gonna introduce my new rating schedule that I'm gonna have first time on here. So me personally, I think it's a 3.5. You know, 3.5. You have more 3.5 more years on your contract out of 5.
Oh dear.
Yeah, yep. 3.5 more years on your contract. That was unexpected, but I'm gonna put it on this one because I feel like there's me, and then I feel like for the Alien fan, I feel like this is probably 4 face palmers out of 5. I feel like for me as not a huge Alien person, it's one, but I enjoyed it. I think that's the big thing. But I feel like with something like this, and you'll see this even more when we talk about Alien Earth, because this is where my new rating schedule really makes more sense, because I feel like, some ways you have to do this. I'm not going to break this out all the time. This is just a special
Right.
one-timey event. So, I didn't mean to flip the script or, do anything crazy. And I'm probably slowly getting banned from Mecha Talk and MAHQ right now for having this opinion. But yeah, I just feel for me, it's a 3. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. But I think for the Alien fan, I could see them really. I feel like it's a movie they've wanted for a long time. I don't know, after like Prometheus and some of that other stuff. Oh God, Prometheus. Jesus Christ. But all right, cool. So yes, we'll go into Alien Earth, which was an 8-episode series that was on Netflix, or not Netflix, on FX, and also on Hulu. It's a little bit different vibe to it because it's, on Earth. Chris, you want to give us a quick little synopsis of this one?
Sure. So this one is another prequel set
Yeah.
2 or 3 years before the OG Alien, and the 2 years. So the first season um, set on an Earth that has been completely overrun by these mega corporations,
It's a present day Earth.
including including Wayland Yutani, and it's like it seems like these corporations basically are the government now. And
So 2025 is what you're saying.
yes,
So
but worse.
this is not fiction. It's nonfiction. It's a reality show, basically, right?
Yes.
I'm joking.
The newest player on the block is Prodigy, a megacorp that was founded by this this asshole named
Boy Cavalier.
Boy
Oh,
Cavalier, which is like the
yeah.
dumbest fucking name ever. It's like, was this like
Never.
a Camino name?
Yeah.
Is this someone from Adean? So Boy Cavalier is a boy genius who has made this incredible, miraculous breakthrough of transferring human consciousness into android bodies, creating these hybrids that he names all after Lost Boys characters from Peter Pan, and the main one that he names Wendy. And these are all sick kids, terminally ill kids who have been implanted in adult bodies. So there's a weird undercurrent running through the whole series of the fact that these are adult characters who are acting very strangely, but that's because they're like 10-year-old kids or younger in most
Yeah.
cases. And a Wayland Yutani ship carrying xenomorphs crashes onto Earth into this skyscraper in a city that is run by Prodigy. So Boy decides to send the Sims to investigate. And the first 2 episodes basically just feel like a regular Alien movie because,
Yeah.
You got the Xenomorph running around the ship killing people. You have untrustworthy
Android.
Weyland-Yutani android running around fucking with people.
Yeah.
This guy Moro.
Clueless military people, just like, doing this dumbest thing ever, forgetting all their training and what to do.
Yes.
And getting killed horribly.
I do like the added element of, that they're jumping around between the ship and this collapsing building, but also that you have all of these people, like these rich people living in the building who are just completely oblivious to it, and then they just all get munched up by the Xenomorph.
One of the best things
Deservedly
ever.
so.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
And then they bring Xenomorph and the Eye Octopus and all these other nasties back to Boy's secret island where he does all of this research. And then the pacing of the series shifts as Wendy and these other kids are figuring out these new bodies. She's reconnecting with Joe, her brother, who is a medic for Prodigy and was part of the team that went into this ship coincidentally. And a lot of weird shit happens. You see the eye octopus like taking over a sheep and trying to plot its own escape and the downfall of those around it. You see Wendy connecting with the Xenomorph and managing to make contact with it and speak to it and have it kill for her. You have this cyborg dude, not an android, Moro, who is manipulating one of the kids and threatening his family and trying to get him to do stuff like infect a human with a face hugger so they can, smuggle it out. And it all culminates in everything going to shit on the island, Xenomorph running around killing people, and by the end of the season, we end on a cliffhanger with Boy, all these other characters trapped in this kind of holding area with Wendy in control of the Xenomorph, seemingly. And what will happen next? We'll find out, since the series was recently renewed for a second season.
Oh yeah.
Chris, why don't you tell us some of the things you liked about this?
It definitely had the vibe down.
Oh yeah.
It feels like Alien. The first like couple of minutes, the prologue of the episode that are on the Weyland-Yutani ship. It feels like you're just watching the first Alien. Like everything looks the same. They recreated that '70s retro future look. The control room with Mother, all that stuff. Everybody coming out of stasis and like, okay, it's one of these stories. And then, of course, it goes to shit. I was not initially sold at the start of the first episode because it kind of felt like we had two completely different stories that didn't really line up.
Yeah.
Because, the idea of these hybrids is a different kind of story than what we've seen in Alien up to now. And then you have your standard, like, let's get the Xenomorph for evil story. And it didn't feel like those two things could intersect, but then over time the connections between those two storylines grew, and it's like, okay, I get it. I see what's going on. So yeah, I like where it goes in terms of showing us more insight into how evil Weyland-Yutani is, and all these other companies, especially Prodigy. Boy Cavalier is possibly one of the most punchable dudes ever in entertainment history.
Yes!
And
Yes.
I want nothing more than by the end of this show to just see him die in the most horrible method possible. This guy is so fucking smug. It's like, yeah, he's super smart, but he has like all of the worst smugness and arrogance of Elon Musk, because it's like everybody on this planet is so fucking dumb. I have to seek out alien life forms can have a conversation with because everybody is below my level. And it's like, okay, you fucking genius. Yeah, you say all this, and then 5 minutes later, you're standing next to this alien egg like a fucking moron while it starts to open up, and you get closer to look at it. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Well,
Smartest guy who ever lived. Okay.
yeah. Well, you've heard the thing of fake it till you make it, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
these
He's the kind of
geniuses
person.
wouldn't be doing that.
He's the kind of person you tell not to put a fork in the socket on the wall, and he still wants to do it just to know how it feels. He's such a fool.
Yeah. And don't compliment Elon Musk on that. He's got the intelligence of this guy, because he doesn't. He's just
No. It's the other way. That's
Yeah.
not what I said. I said he's
Yeah.
a smart guy who has the arrogance of Elon
Oh
Musk.
yeah. Okay.
That's not to say that Elon Musk is
Yeah.
smart, because
No,
he's a
not.
fucking moron.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not. He just knows how to take over people's stuff. So,
Which is what this guy does.
I think you'll get your wish. Like, you just
I don't
know.
doubt it, but I know I'm going to be made to wait for it.
Yeah. It's like, actually, I thought that last episode, I was like, oh, it's like, he's gonna die, isn't he? Because you just felt like, okay, now he's just become a dumbass, and it's like he just gets that, the genius dumbass thing, and it's like, oh no, okay, but. Yeah, they're making you wait on that one. Because I think his will be the most satisfying death on here. Him and the brother. Like, I can't wait to see the brother die, even though I know the brother won't die, but he's so fucking annoying. Oh my god.
Well, I think he probably will. Just
Yeah.
to give Wendy some woman pain. They gotta fridge this guy.
Oh god, Joe is oh my god. I wish I was a Xenomorph. I would have killed him. It's like when he got the acid on his chest, I'm like, oh yes, he's gonna die. Thank you. It's like, no, he survives, and he's still like, hey, how you doing? Oh, can we just be a family again? Yes. I hate this guy. But go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
I got nothing else.
Okay, so bro, what do you? Some of your thoughts on this?
Well, first off, I like Joe, man. Shout out to Alex Lawther.
Man,
who I saw
Joe sucks. Joe sucks.
Not to bring up Andor again, but he played Nemec in Andor, the guy who wrote the manifesto that Andor befriends on the heist. So to see him in this and another,
there's no transitive. There's no transitive property on this.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
He likes baseball. Man. I'll give it up to him. It's been a good year for baseball.
I don't have a problem with his thing of listening to baseball.
Yeah.
Just everything else about him. Can we just come back and be a family?
He wants to get his family.
Wendy.
His sister's miraculously alive in some way, shape, or form. I do love the question the show asks, though, because the synths seem out of place in this, because it's an Alien franchise.
Completely out of place.
Although there are synths in the Alien franchise, but we usually don't see them at this depth. So it is fascinating.
Well, these are hybrids.
Yeah, they are hybrids.
Hybrids.
I wonder if Noah Hawley, who is the showrunner in this show, he did the Fargo TV series, and also did what's that X-Men show did? Almost X-Men, I forget.
Legion.
Legion. He did that too. He's a really good showrunner, and I love that he jam-packed the show with a lot of concepts. I'm cool to see where this goes, because Wendy on her own
and 90s rock at the end.
I want to bring
Jesus Christ.
I want to bring it up to Chris. Chris, when I heard the music of this, I was like, dude, this soundtrack might be made for Chris. What do you think about the music of the show?
It's a solid soundtrack. Nice mix of some contemporary stuff, and appropriately moody at times.
Yeah, it's solid stuff.
But the ending song of pretty much every episode was a 90s rock band. I remember Pearl Jam, Tool, Smashing Pumpkins, Godsmack. Who else was on it? I'm trying to remember.
Maybe
9 Inch Nails, I think, was in there.
Yeah.
Was Metallica in there?
Yeah,
they were.
Expensive pick, but they got the money.
I think Metallica was in there.
I think you might be right.
Pretty sure they were.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, when it comes down to it, the concepts, the show's chock loaded with them. I like this. I wonder if Noah Hawley was inspired somewhat by Ghost in the Shell for the for the synth the transfer from one body to the next. I don't know honestly. Although I do smell a
It's not
little.
exactly a new concept.
You're right. I do smell a
Yeah.
little Blade Runner in this, and I know Blade Runner is not really tied into this universe, but with all the corporations and shit, it makes me wonder if they're if that is something they wanted to just give an unofficial nod to. I don't know, but I'm intrigued in that storyline, especially with Wendy. Wendy's super powerful, not only able to talk to aliens or to xenomorphs specifically, but also to be able to control machinery and other synths too. That's fucking wild. She might be the strongest character in the AA universe. When it comes to the things that she can do, it's pretty interesting, and it makes me.
So the ending songs were by
Mhm.
was Jane's Addiction,
Mm-hmm.
Smashing Pumpkins, which I was actually glad that they did something from Cherub. They did Cherub Rock, which I'm glad they didn't do something from the big double album because it's so that one's so played out. Godsmack, which I could do. Tool, which I respect Tool, but I don't. Not the biggest fan. Black Sabbath, Jam. That came out of nowhere. Yeah, Wherever My Room, Metallica from the Black Album. Yeah, I knew it. And Into the Stone Age. That was I was like, wait, what? So yeah, it's like it was all '90s rock pretty much. So except for Black Sabbath, but
It's cool.
They started it all.
They kept the thematic, which I thought was dope. Moro is a fascinating character, especially when we finally get the backstory on what happened on the Majino, which is shot for shot is the fucking Nostromo, man. I'm amazed that they were able to rebuild the sets in the way that they did. It looked amazing, especially the way they shot like the mess hall.
That was actually a very good episode,
bro.
I actually did like that episode at first when I'm watching it. I'm like, do I really want to see the murking of all these people again? But then it was like, okay, it really showed like what was going on there, and it showed the type of people.
Yeah.
And this just shows you how evil Weyland Yutani is like they get these people that are so desperate to do these things. Like when the one dude is talking to the older like Irish engineer guy, the guy that ends up blowing up with the freaking chest burster, and the dude, he's like, "Oh, what you gonna do with your half? You're gonna go back and spend it on your wife?" He's like, "My wife when I left was 61. That was 65 years ago. She looks like my grandmother now." I was like, "Oh my god!" Like it's just little things like it's like, "Oh god, they are just." And they further solidify that they are the most evil fictional corporation. So, yeah,
it's rough.
But
I will say the show has slight pacing issues. I would say from episode to episode.
Oh, it's slow as shit.
But I'm not mad at that because I know when it comes to the TV show, my main concern. It didn't feel like a 2-hour movie stretched out into 8 episodes, which it did not. It covered a lot of ground, had a lot of fascinating characters. As I mentioned before, I like Joe. I think Moro is probably my favorite character in the show. Although my second favorite character is Timothy Oliphant's Kirsch. Anytime Timothy Oliphant shows up in something, I'm fucking there, man. I love Tim.
Does he play creepy guy the best? Like he's the best actor that plays like creepy weirdo the best?
He plays gunslinger the best. But he can sometimes play. He also plays dicks the best as well. But I'm a big fan of Justified and his character Raylan Givens on that show. So when
he's good as well, if you watched the sadly canceled Netflix show Santa Clarita Diet.
Yes. And he's a charismatic dude, man. He's intriguing in anything he does, and Kirsch is one of my favorite synths. I'd say Andy's my first, and then Kirsch might be my second. So but yeah, I like the fact that we have more than just the Xenomorph as an alien in this series. I can't recall seeing any other aliens besides the engineers.
I like Octopus Eye, man.
Oh yeah,
Octopus Eye was the best, man.
Octopus Eye.
He was the best, and when he became the sheep, that was even better. It's like, oh, poor sheep. And then it's like, and then Boy Cavalier's like, oh, he's intelligent. What's the factor of this? What's the first number? What's the second number? What's the third number? Oh, you took a shit? What does that mean?
Props to Samuel Blinken, who played Boy Cavalier. I never wanted to just sock a man so hard in his fucking mouth as
Oh
I
my
did
God.
seeing him. And it made
See,
me,
is that one of the throwaway names from Nora or Battler Dunbine?
yeah,
Like,
right?
or Boy
Yes.
Cavalier? Like, is that one of the ones that
Yes.
to me is like, this is even more dick? I can't do this shit.
Yes. It made me feel bad for the Wutani lady. Like I'm not supposed to feel bad for her dealing with this asshole, but when they had the face to face, it's like I would shoot him. I just wish she would. I'm actually, I can't believe I'm in this lady's corner.
You were rooting for Waylon Yutani?
I
Oh my
can't believe I
God.
was in this lady's corner for 5 seconds, man. It's like y'all are the evilest corporation, but this asshole has got to go. Anyway, I thought it was an engaging series. I quite enjoyed it. It had great cinematography. Some of the set pieces were very inventive, especially when they're going through the apartment building and that this dumb guy that's on my screen right now, the Victorian
Oh, that guy.
wig push. That whole fucking room got slaughtered. It was so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the tricks of the camera tricks and whatnot to hide the alien in the background. Thought it was great. The retro future in both movies, in both situations, whether it be Romulus or this, were well recreated. Being that Disney now owns Fox, they have a lot of liberty for showing these movies now and these shows. So it's seeing Peter Pan in this and seeing Ice Age and stuff like that.
Oh well, they had to do
Yeah,
that.
it kind of tripped
I'm
me
sure.
out.
I'm
But
there must be an anniversary edition of freaking Peter Pan coming out
right,
soon.
yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't doubt it. But I just thought it had a lot of good story threads that all paid off towards the end. And
Get your cleaned up HD remaster of
yeah,
Peter Pan and get a free Xenomorph
yes,
or a free Wendy bobblehead.
exactly.
It's
But
awesome.
I put all the players on the board in interesting positions for season 2, and where this is going to go. I think Wendy might be the most dangerous character in the show, to be quite honest.
Oh, you think?
And we have another Xenomorph running around on the island too. I don't remember if they caught it or not, but the one that emerged out of Dame's husband's chest, that one, I can't recall if they caught it or not. But if they did, then that's cool. But if they haven't, then that's a whole another situation we got to deal with next season. So yeah, it's fascinating. I wonder what they're gonna
It's
introduce.
like the Jurassic Park island is what that basically is.
I think the best thing the show does is
The comments we got: Secret Epstein Island.
yes.
Yeah.
It's why
Yeah, that's it.
it's why I named this episode Xenomorph in Isla Nublar. Even though
Yeah,
it's
it
not
pretty
really.
much is.
But at the end of the day, I think the best thing the show does is it widens the aliens universe and kind of gives us a more defined parameters on Earth and how Earth runs. So especially with all the different corporations that are pretty much divvy up control of the planet and space that they've conquered. So yeah, it's fascinating. Shout out to Noah Hawley. I loved his work for the longest. So I'm glad to see he's got his hands on the Aliens franchise, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else next season will show up. Will bring into play. So back to you guys.
All right. So, in some ways, I felt like a lot of the exposition and some of the pacing, I do have an issue. I feel like either they needed to just like maybe cut it down an episode or um maybe add to it, but some of the pacing, especially early on, the first like maybe like 4 episodes, um I felt kind of slow to me. Yeah, I mean, I think the corporation aspect is pretty interesting. I just it's amazing to me, like, once again, it just shows that social commentary that the people that control these corporations, they don't give a shit about anything. They're going to do the most reckless and dangerous things just to advance anything. And it's like, and you're right, it is funny where this is one of the few times where Wayland Yutani actually doesn't look as bad. and all the versions of all the versions of Alien that we've seen, it's like they're actually like, I'm not rooting for them, but I'm like, oh, they're not as shitty as Prodigy. And yes, Boy Cavalier is just, you want to punch him, and it's when his death comes, it's going to be so goddamn satisfying that, I mean, it's people are going to rejoice on that. So, yes, it keeps the aesthetic of Aliens, but it it is a different thing because maybe it does mean that you have to go on Earth, and I do enjoy that. But yes, you can see with you said this Noah Hawley guy, man, he is just anything that was like crazy sci-fi in the 1980s and 90s, he's about it. and
Yes,
and
he
he is a product of that time. I have no problem with that. I mean, he goes forward with it, but yeah, it's definitely it's definitely throughout here. Like I said, it's especially when you're sitting there, the ending songs. I'm like, wait, what? When I heard that, I'm like, what is going on here with some of these ending songs? I'm like, I didn't have a problem, but I'm just like, okay, this is interesting. That must have been something he must have fought hard for that in his contract. Like,
he got a playlist like
I'm
James Gunn.
yeah, exactly. Well, at least James Gunn sometimes uses more like obscure stuff. Like, I mean, these are big time bands. I mean, Metallica, Smashing Pumpkins, Black Sabbath, Pearl Jam. When was the last time you heard Pearl Jam in anything?
That's
I
fair.
can't even. I mean,
The music budget must have been half the budget.
no, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it was. They probably, I would probably think the reverse. I think some of these bands did it for what is it? What do they always? It's scale, right? It's like the low end of the thing. I bet it wasn't as what you think it was. It's just, it's probably because they're all fans of this franchise, especially like Metallica and Tool. I could see them being that Jane's Addiction and even Smashing Pumpkins. Well, Smashing Pumpkins is basically just Billy Corgan, but so, but yeah, it was interesting. So, Chris, any downsides that you had on this?
The pacing is a little slow. I feel like it was a little padded out to 8 episodes, and of course, I walked into this expecting that this would be like a limited series, just telling a story in one season. Then it ended on a cliffhanger. It's like, oh, okay. But then, of course, it's been renewed for a second season. So, now I would come back to it with different expectations in the future. Now knowing what the score is.
Yeah, I think the danger with the second series is like maybe that's the only series they need to do. Like it, I'm wondering if they're hoping the danger with this is that they expand it more than what it needs to be. But I guess we're not talking about that now. So, but
I just want to know the answer to the central question that season 1 left me with, which is Wendy manipulating the Xenomorph, or is it manipulating her?
her, yeah,
Ooh, yeah, man.
that is an interesting question. Yeah, yep. So, Sobra.
I would have rather had the 5th episode be the first episode, just to put that right there on Front Street to kind of like make you think the show's gonna be one thing, but that the first episode is just to set things up, as opposed to putting it in the middle of the run. Normally, I don't mind that, but in this case, I especially how episode 4 ends, it felt like a not a distraction, but it just didn't feel right where it was placed. I'd have rather they just got into episode 5's content as the opening of the series, and then gone into episode 1 as episode 2, and so on and so forth. I thought it would have a better way to move. Outside of that, I hope the pacing's tighter in season 2. But outside of that, I'm just happy to see a show of this quality, dealing with the Alien franchise, air on television and not be a pile of shit. So thank God for that. Props to everybody who was involved with this, and yeah, I thought it was a solid watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think with me the biggest part of it is it's the pacing, and I feel with this one, um, it's more for the Aliens fan. I think as opposed with Romulus, where I felt like it's part of the Aliens universe, but it feels like if you're not as tied into the franchise, you can kind of watch it and go with it. I know chronologically this is before the first movie, but it feels like you kind of need to know a little bit more on that, and hence is why it gave me my idea for my split ratings. So,
All right.
yeah. But anything else, guys, before we go to our ratings?
Now I'm ready to go.
So, Sobro,
All right.
what is your rating for season 1 of Alien Earth?
I will give this 4. Damn it. 4 optical pusses out of 5. There you go. That creepy guy.
Chris?
I'm going to give this one 4 idiot geniuses out of 5.
I'm going to give this. So I'm going to give my first rating, which is going to be for the Alien fan. I will give it 4 sheep shits out of 5. And for me, I would say it's 3 Joe needs to die out of 5. Oh my God, he's the most annoying guy. I mean, I'm sorry, but oh, I just want to be with you. Oh, yeah. It's like, oh God. It's like he's gonna be the second most satisfying death.
Oh my God.
Boy Cavalier.
I'm guessing he's Sobro's man for the series, huh? Jesus.
No, because the Sober man usually is much of a coward. They end up living. I mean, see Saji Crossroad. This guy's marked for death. I mean,
If anything, Sobro's man is slightly.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, Sober's man is like a cockroach. They somehow survived. This guy he's just got marked for. He's got death written all over him. It's like, oh, I mean, he had it at the. I mean, it's like we've seen people get like less acid on them and die, and this guy's like, oh, just get a new lung. Oh, Wendy. Oh, but you're really Marcy. Oh, Dad used to sit there and we do baseball. Like, oh my!
I made this guy sound like he's gonna take a shit like DK.
He is DK-like. Yeah, he's not DK-like in the fact that DK just would see something and automatically shit his pants. But this guy is just like, oh my God, dude.
Awesome.
It's like your whole team died except for you. I mean, it's been somebody more redeemable than you to die. Oh, Jesus. But, okay. Sounds good. Anything else before we finish this up?
I'm just gonna cut it real. Go to MAHQ.net for all your needs for Gundam or your needs for reading reviews on Mecha anime, and also check out the line art for all sorts of Mecha from different shows. Outside of that, if you want to download Gundam, just go to MAHQ.net. You'll find us there. That is all I got.
Chris, I guess the Xenomorphs out of there. Sounds like that. Chris, anything? Because this is it, right? On terms of the shows, I mean, are we going to do one more show for the year?
I don't know.
Or is this it?
This might be it for the time being.
This is gonna be it, depending on your computer.
Yeah.
So this just depends.
Unless you see.
As Solbro survives,
Yes.
this is the first cliffhanger of Gundam.
I hate to say it, but yeah, I got to do an overhaul on this PC. So more than likely, we won't have another episode till January. But be on the lookout. If we are gonna have another episode, you know where to follow us on social media or go to MAHQ. We'll announce it there. And thank you guys for watching the show live and checking out the audio feeds as well, man. Our downloads are going up, so thank you guys for supporting the show at all places. And that's all for me.
Chris, anything on MAHQ before we get out of here?
Just go check it out. There's always something new.
Sounds good. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for episode 325. If this is the last one of 2025, we'll see you in 2026. You never know. And if Solbro survives, then maybe we will have something in 2025. So, you actually set up this whole episode, Solbro, with your computer. Actually, pretty great. But all right, we'll see you guys later. Thank you for supporting us, and have a safe holiday, and stay out of trouble. Later.